What's up guys, it's Yes here. Today I'm covering how to create this in Adobe Illustrator. As you can see, it uses a lot of different gradients and different colors. It has these highlights here and it also has these shadows under these where these places overlap. So I think this is going to be a good tutorial on how you can do a lot of different things to create logo designs in Illustrator using gradients. So to start, we're going to go Command N, create a new document. Just going to make it 1080 by 1080, hit create. So I'm going to turn on the grids with Command quotation and then Command Shift quotation to snap to the grids. And as you can see that we snap when we use the rectangle tool, and I'm going to use the rectangle tool and create a rectangle that's 3 wide, and I guess it's 16 long. Now once I have this, I'm just going to turn the fill to nothing and switch the stroke to the fill. And I'm going to use the ellipse tool, which is L on your keyboard. And I'm just going to create it right here, just like this. And I'm going to use the shape builder tool and just remove these pieces here. And I'm going to duplicate this with Command C, Command F, move it down one, just like that. And I'm going to use the shape builder tool just to connect all these. And then I'm just going to delete this. With this selected, I'm just going to hold Alt and Shift and drag down. And now to make this a little bit easier for us, I'm going to create this one as a blue, then create this one as a darker blue here. So now what we can do is hold Shift and Alt and drag this top one down to below this one. And now you can select this one, go Command D, select this one, Command D, select this one, Command D, or you can just go like this and go Command D until you have it however long you'd like. For now, I'm just going to make it this long, and I'm going to use the ellipse tool again, create one right here that's 3 by 2, and I'm going to use this and hit Command D. That should go down like that, which is fine. I'm going to have the circle and this one selected, go Shift M for the shape builder, remove these bits here, and then put this ellipse to the back with just Command Shift and the square bracket on the left side. And I'm going to select this, press I, select this. Actually I'm going to select this one, press I and click this one. And since we sent it to the back, this one will be in front of it. So that's how I created the base shape for this. Now I want to change the colors a little bit. So I'm going to select this one, select same, fill color. I'm going to remove a lot of the green and a lot of the red and make it primarily blue. Maybe turn the greens up a little bit. That looks good. And for this one, I'm going to do something similar but a lot brighter. So select same fill color, select these, this, and make it like that. Maybe a teeny bit darker. We can see once we add the highlights if that's how we like it. So once we have this, I'm just going to make a rectangle over it all. And then I'm going to use the ellipse tool and put it where the circles are on the actual piece here that we're using. So just like that. And then shape builder them out. And then connect these. And I can see it's right over top. And now I'm going to use the gradients. And I'm going to put the white in the middle here, so at 50%. And then I'm going to put a white over here. I'm going to delete this black. And I'm going to put a white over here. Now the difference is I'm going to make the opacity of the outer whites 0. Just like that. So you can see it creates that sort of highlight, and we want that highlight over here more. I want it that bright, maybe like that. That's good, and now we can just go to the opacity here and change this to maybe like a soft light. It's a little too dark in my opinion. I'm going to maybe go overlay, no. Maybe a hard light, Honestly, it might be fine with the soft light, just no, it's definitely too dark. Let's go normal and just turn the opacity down. I think that's fine. Maybe a little higher. Yeah, that looks good. Now what we can do is Command C, Command F, and that'll duplicate this. Now instead of white on these, I'm going to do black, 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 and black. And now for this one, I think the opacity, I'm going to select this and switch it to a soft light or something like that. And let's just use the gradient tool and move it over here a little bit more. See how this looks. Okay. I think that's pretty good. I'm actually going to send this one behind the light here by just hitting Command and the left quotation mark. I mean, not the left quotation mark, sorry. Command and the square bracket on the left. Now we have this. I'm just going to tone this up a little bit. I think having it a little bit higher, and then maybe we can send this behind the shadow again. Maybe have this a little bit higher too. That looks pretty good. So now that we have our base shape here, I'm just going to rotate it 90 degrees and put it like that. I'm going to Command C, Command F, and then I'm going to right click, transform, rotate, and make it 60. Now it's going to be like this. I'm just going to put it so it snaps 2 away from the end here. So like 2 boxes. So this is 1 box, 2 boxes. Then I want it to snap on the bottom piece. That's good. And now we're just going to Command C, Command F, and then rotate this one 60 as well, and make sure it snaps in the same spot. So 2 away, and snaps on the bottom here. Actually, I'm going to move these all up individually. And if you'd like to, we can group these all together or group these individually together by the lines, just so it's a little bit easier to manage. And since we didn't do this a little bit sooner, it makes it a little more difficult. Actually, I'm just going to Command Z really quick, back to this one, and then I'm going to Command G. And now I'm just going to do what I did last time, so transform, rotate 60. Oh, there we go. Make sure it snaps in the same spot. I'm actually going to put it, yeah, I think that's good. Now rotate 60 there. Make sure it snaps in the same spot. Right there. Okay, that looks good. Now the other issue we're gonna have is that I believe the lighting on the original, the lighting all kind of faces the same way. So what we're going to do is just reflect this one. So once you've reflected it, we're just going to go transform, rotate 60, and it should stay in the same spot. Yep. Now all the lighting's kind of from the top, and that makes it look a little more consistent as opposed to just like this, where it looks like the lighting might be coming from down here as well as up here, and it's kind of confusing. So now it's all kind of similar, but now the only difference is that these overlap over and under each other, and I guess the shadows on this one are a little bit darker actually. So what I'm going to do is send this one behind the light here, then I'm going to select the light and I'm going to turn it down a bit. If you're trying to select one object within a group and it's the top object, you can just hit Command and select the object. So this one I'm just selecting the shadow, sending it behind, I'm selecting it again and it's the light. I'm going to just copy the properties of this one. They're a lot less opaque. So I'm going to do the same on this one here. Press I, select this. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. So we still need them to overlap. As you can see, this one's overlapping pretty well here. So we won't need to alter that one. I don't know if that's going over or under on the other one. It shouldn't really matter. Yeah, it's going over as well. Cool. So since that one's going over, we want this one to go under. And then we want this one to go under here since it's already over here. So what we can do is Command C, Command F, and then create a rectangle right here. It doesn't matter what's filled in it because we're going to use it by selecting this and selecting this one, right clicking and hit Make Clipping Mask. So that'll put this one over it, and what we can do is just send it behind. And then for the top part, we can just go like this, and then make clipping mask on this one, and there we go. And now it looks like this one's under, it's over on this side, this one's under, it's over on this side, this one's under, it's over on this side. So it looks perfect to me, but now we just need to add the shadows underneath just to make it look a little more real. So I'm going to select right here with the pen tool, select right here. I'm just going to bring it down to about here and just bring it back up. Make sure you're snapped on the actual edge, because if you're not, it might go over a little bit. That'll be a problem. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to select this one. It's going to be the light. I'm going to send it back one so that the shadow is on top. Then I'm going to select this one, press I, and select this so it selects the shadow. Now I'm just going to select the shadow again and send it back behind the light. And you might not notice, but there's minute differences when you send one below the other. Like if I bring the shadow above again, you can kind of see that it goes a little more up. But I prefer the light above, so I'm just going to keep it like that. It's really however you'd like to do it though. So for this one, I'm just going to turn the opacity up, and I'm going to change the color properties here, or whatever it's called, to normal just for now. Now I'm going to use the gradient tool and make it go more like that. And make sure you don't go to the edge of this object that you made, because it'll look really poor. So I always try to make sure it ends prior to that. And if you need to, you can always just extend that shape, of course. So I think I prefer that. That looks good. Now I'm just going to select the color property here. And let's see how overlay looks. Overlay never works. Maybe just a hard light and then lower opacity, honestly. Okay, it looks like it's snapped pretty well. Okay, it looks good. Now what I'm going to do is just Control C, Control V, transform, rotate 60 degrees. And I'm going to flip it 90 just with rotation. Here, I'm going to make a little rectangle on the corner here just so I don't have to create all those pen tool points, and I can just select this and this and then snap it with these align tools. And then that's copied, nice. Now we can just Control C, Control F, transform, rotate 60, rotate it 90 with your rotation tool. Snap it here with the rectangle again. There we go. Select this one, and then snap it, the align tool. So now you have those. And now I think we should create another one on the other side just because it looks kind of bland if you don't. Also, maybe I would suggest switching these to like a darker blue, just so it fits in a little bit better, and then maybe turn the opacity up a little. Yeah, I think that looks better. Because the black doesn't really fit in my mind. So now that we've done that, we can kind of do the same thing on the other side here, so I'm just going to do it on this one first. Select the intersection here as well. And I'm just going to send it to about here. Now I'm just going to copy the color properties like that. I'm going to use the gradient tool. What I don't like when I use the gradient tool is when you can see when it ends, or you can see a clear distinction. So this line right here and this line right here are pretty clear to me. I don't like. I'm trying to make it longer to kind of elongate that gradient back into normal. If that makes sense. Oh, also, we should be changing these ones to like that darker purple as well, just to make sure it's a very similar color. That now. There we go, and that changes that gradient so it doesn't look as harsh. I'm going to do that on these ones too, just to make sure it's all consistent with the colors. Just like this one here. Okay, that looks a lot better. Going to now. There we go. That's a lot better. Now I'm going to Command C, Command V, rotate 60, and then flip it 90. Now this one's gonna be a little bit more difficult to snap into place, I think, unless it just snapped in like that, which would be really nice. Actually, I think it did. Okay. Okay, now that we have this one, I'm just going to Command C, Command V, transform, rotate. We're going to do 60 degrees. And then flip it over 90 again. There we go, now we just gotta line it up. And sometimes it won't align, that's why I create the rectangle in the first place, just to make sure it does. There we go. Now that we've snapped it in. Okay, it looks good. So that's how you create this. I appreciate you guys watching. And let me know if you like these style of videos where I just hop in Illustrator right away, show you what to do, and I'm finished with the video. I really want to try this style out because I've seen a bunch of other people do it, and I figured maybe that's what people liked. So yeah, please let me know in the replies if you like this or you prefer my old style of videos. I really appreciate all the feedback and support recently. It's super motivating to complete videos and make more videos alongside my current client work and whatnot, of course. So I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great day, and peace out.